training camp world in August, it truly is all about, in my mind, a few things. One, who's currently holding out, who's holding in, who's going to wind up signing, who would dare to potentially miss a week one game because they are going to stand firm, and so will management in a contractual standoff. Who's going to be that guy? Is there going to be that guy? Could it be a Dallas Cowboy who's that guy? Could it be a Cincinnati Bengal who's that guy? Could it be a 49er who is that guy? There's a lot of big names as we are sitting here on the first day of August that have yet to sign their contracts or will not play without a new one. How about that? So we're looking out there. There's also on the opposite end of that, who's going to be a 53rd man on a roster? That's sort of your Hard Knocks storylines, what we love so much about that inside look at training camps. Who's going to be that guy whose dream comes true and they make a team when you didn't expect them to make a team, and they went through so many odds professionally and personally to make a team, and we'll see later on in August those videos hop up on your social media as teams, no doubt all 32, have a kind of a camera hidden and the coach brings in the player and they learn their dreams coming true. I love that sort of stuff. And then there's the rookie quarterback situations across the National Football League and how that's playing out. I'll tell you what, the 3 guys who are going to be starting week one out of the 6 that were drafted in the first dozen picks of the NFL draft, I'll tell you who those guys are going to be. Caleb Williams will be starting for the Bears against the Tennessee Titans in week one. Jaden Daniels, despite there being a so-called competition going on, will be the starting quarterback for the Washington Commanders against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week one. When the Denver Broncos start in week number 1, I believe it'll be Bo Nix. I think Sean Payton even spoke. He gave you a little update. He gave you a little bit. Because listen, Jared Stidham is a guy who he personally brought in, and Derek Carr / Keyshawn, Russell Wilson at the end of last year, and then of course they went and got Zach Wilson after the Jets finally gave him his freedom. But it's going to be Bo Nix. I think this was the update from Sean Payton on Wednesday about his quarterback scenario.
Look, I thought overall, I'm sure there's going to be some plays we look at that it was mostly third down. A lot of the work was third down, but yeah, I mean, we'll see the tape and evaluate it. But I thought overall pretty well. I mean, there are plays where you're going to look at and correct, and then there's others where you're going to say, hey. But I do have to watch the film because I'm looking at so much, and he ran with the ones, and I like his progress. Bo Nix is going to start week one. By the way, tough assignment at Seattle. Speaking of which, once again, Jackson Smith and Jigba will be on this program in hour number 2 from Seattle Seahawks training camp. Then you've got J.J. McCarthy, who I believe will be sitting and watching Sam Darnold start week 1 in MetLife. Michael Penix Jr. clearly, unless there is some sort of catastrophic moment in training camp, for Kirk Cousins, he'll be sitting and watching Kirk Cousins take on the Pittsburgh Steelers in week number 1. What a great game that's going to be. Jesse Bates, again, of the Falcons, hour 3. Then lastly, there's the guy in New England in Drake Maye. Folks, in case you're not knowing this, in case you're somehow unaware of what's going on in Patriots camp involving Drake Maye. Started with Gerard Mayo, their new head coach, actually giving out information when asked direct questions about his quarterback flow chart when training camp opened. He's like, obviously Brissett is the one. That's why we got him. He's a veteran. He's been here. He's played. He's the one. But hey, open competition. He even mentioned Joe Milton, who they drafted in the final day of the draft, and Bailey Zappe's still there.
Zappe's still there, guys. Can't forget Bailey.
Shiny, zappy people.
As
Can't
of this
forget.
moment, it still could be a Zappy holiday.
Man.
Can't forget.
Don't
Come on,
forget,
get Zappy.
Bailey Zappi,
He's still there.
last quarterback to win a game for Bill Belichick in his vaunted half century of coaching, potentially and counting.
What a sad,
Last winning quarterback of Bill Belichick's coaching career. If he doesn't coach again, his name is Bailey and Zappi.
sad trivia answer.
Hey, you got a lot of Tom Brady on that list beforehand, so don't you worry about it.
Thank God.
So, open competition. Who knows? Maybe he can do it. But as of this day, in terms of Drake Maye's training camp experience from the observers in the New England media that are seeing what he looks like, the only way you can describe it, 3 words: hair on fire.
Ah,
Absolute hair on fire
no hair.
when it comes to Drake Maye's first few days of training camp. Hasn't looked good. You're seeing, what is he, 6 of 11 here, or his passes are being sailed there. Sure, he threw a touchdown pass also in training camp, you know. Not getting a lot of work with the ones. Your friend Michael Holley said it's Mac Jones 2.0. Now, listen.
Ghost of Mac Jones.
Ghost of Mac Jones. Pardon me. Ghosts of.
Yeah.
He's seeing ghosts
Ghosts.
of Mac Jones.
Tom Brady really spoiled all these New England people.
Well, you know who also spoiled him? Mac Jones' rookie season. He was terrific.
Mac Jones was awesome. Made the Pro Bowl. 80. What was he? 85 on the top 100 list.
But Mac Jones, the ghost of Mac Jones. Let's talk about last year's Mac Jones or the regressed Mac Jones. Play the drop anytime you want, Mike. You can do that.
Seeing ghosts.
Thank you.
I'm seeing ghosts.
So, Gerard Mayo talking to the media today about the status of Drake Maye. Honestly, just a couple of padded practices of training camp in, and we're talking about bust Drake Maye.
Oh, God.
Hit it.
People are going to have their opinions. I would say the opinions inside of the 4 walls matter most. And I would say the people inside the 4 walls know what they're talking about. And so you can take that for what it is. Look, we all support Drake. We all know what it's like to be a rookie in this league. Not you guys, obviously, but I do. Right? I know what it's like to be a rookie, and it's not all peaches and cream. You probably remember this. San Francisco, my rookie year, I got benched on 3rd down. I only played early downs because I just wasn't ready. And that was like week 10, right? It was like week 10, week 11. But it was a wake-up call for me to get benched. And, from there on, I was rookie of the year. Still got benched. So whatever we want to talk about with Drake, there will be ups and downs. And hopefully it ends on up.
Final question, guys. Did you ever consider giving Drake some reps with like the top offensive grouping that Jacoby's been with, just to see what he can do with those guys?
Like you guys said, it's the 2nd week of training camp. We have a game here a week from now. He'll have an opportunity to go out there and participate with, if you want to call them the ones, but we mix and match.
All right.
I love this man.
Let me just say this to you.
God,
Two things.
what a breath of fresh air.
Every single time he speaks, it's just like he's the head coach of the Patriots,
God,
giving us
great.
information as a happy warrior,
I love that guy.
and because Belichick would have been like, yeah, we're practicing. We're just,
guys,
that's
it's Wednesday. What are we doing? You know what I mean?
So eventually we're going to get past this, like that this is happening, right? Like this sea change is occurring, and he's giving you an answer, and he's not shutting you down, and he's actually telling you a story about how he got benched. By the way, probably by Belichick when he was a rookie.
Well, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, right? So listen, I'm going to put I'm going to do this. To borrow a phrase from Dak, I'm going to say it. I'm going to address the New England media directly.
Be careful.
I know.
Be careful.
I know.
You're gonna end up
I'm
on the
entering the fray.
you're gonna end up on the drive time EEI
Oh,
sound
yeah.
bites.
It's going to look like that car chase in Matt Damon's new movie, The Instigators, right? On Sterling Drive, where cars are all piled up.
Yeah, be careful.
You drafted Drake Maye as a 2024 marinating project. Kid, based on every evaluator I spoke to, I worked with, I heard from, you heard from, was all this kid is not ready to start 2024. Every single team who needed a quarterback that drafted after you tried to get him. Look at Hard Knocks. Everybody. And when Hard Knocks showed you how great Drake Maye was on the Giants grease board, everybody's like, that's why the Patriots have him. So now he looks terrible in his first few days of training camp, which is a laboratory that you're allowed to look at and be in. Now he's not going to be any good. This is what exactly supposed to happen. This is what we were expecting to happen. I know we're bored waiting for football to actually be played and draft our fantasy teams, but come on. Come on. This is why you got Jacoby Brissett. This is why you have Gerard Mayo there, and you're fully aware that you're starting from scratch, like absolute scratch. The reason the people calling in, there's already people on hold wanting to play the win-loss game on behalf of the teams that they love. Every single time the Patriots come up, it's win. We're going to beat you.
Win. Every time.
And so, honestly, and this is truly what it's all about. Truly what it's all about. And why, there is, if you want to have a cause for concern, you got to ask yourself, is Gerard Mayo and the staff that he's put together, Alex Van Pelt and Ben McAdoo, are they the ones who can be the Sherpa for this kid? Because you know who wasn't the Sherpa for Mac Jones and his ghost? And that's part of the reason why, bless him, Belichick's on the CW and the Manning cast.
And YouTube.
Right. That's why, he's in the media right now. And why a bunch of teams didn't go and hire him is because of how it all went down in New England the last 2 years. Overlooking, by the way, his previous 48 is coaching, but that's another story for another day. So that's the question. Do you have the right guys to say tough training camp practices and then tough training camp season potentially if it goes that long, and then get him ready and coach him up if Brissett gets hurt? And if May's got to get in there, will he be ready to do that? But guess what? It might look pretty ugly that way too. That's the way it goes when you don't have Tom Brady and Bill and Vrabel and Bruschi and Gronk and Edelman. Welcome to the rest of us. Am I going to be in trouble? Can I fly into Logan now?
You know what? Go run another 40 in your suit.
That's it. That'll be, I think Zolak even knows, right? He understands.
He knows.
What are we doing?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
What are we doing?
Just everyone relax. It's the first week.
Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.